made a little mistake, but starting over. I'm going to be making a double batch of naan since that's the amount of dairy-free yogurt that I have to work with. So, getting started is a cup of warm water. You want your water warm, not scalding, but definitely not room temperature either. That's going to help the yeast bloom. I'll be adding 2 teaspoons of sugar to this water. Then mixing that up a bit. And adding 4 teaspoons of yeast. Giving that just a little gentle stir. And at this point, we're going to let the yeast bloom. Basically, that's it getting activated after being in your fridge for a while. In our larger bowl, I'm going to be putting in 2 cups of flour, and realizing that I don't have enough flour for this at this point. You know what? I'm going to be making whole wheat naan as well today. Normally you'd want to stick with white flour, but this should work pretty well also. Let's see here. And then I need to add a teaspoon of salt. Stir that up a bit. Okay, now that the yeast has bloomed, I'm going to stir that up and add in half a cup of olive oil. Two eggs. And my container of yogurt. I am using the Kite Hill vanilla almond dairy-free yogurt. Going to stir that up real well. Okay, now this gets poured into the dry ingredients. And using a sturdy mixing tool, I'm going to mix this up and get it nice and incorporated. At this point, you add flour, half a cup at a time, until it stops being easy to mix with the spoon. Let's finish off the white flour there first. gonna get my arm workout today doing this. It's one of the good things about making breads for yourself is you burn off some of the calories you'll be eating in the process of making them. That's getting difficult. I think one more scoop will work. Oh yeah. Okay, at this point, it no longer wants to mix with the spoon. It is time to get one's hands dirty. I'm going to add another half a cup at this point and start kneading it. The recipe calls to pour this out onto a surface and knead it like on your countertop. I've found that it works rather well to just knead it right in the large bowl. Want to really work those frustrations out on the dough. Since I'm sure we all have a couple after this year. The better you knead it at this point, the better it's going to turn out when you make it into the actual bread. So you really can't overdo it at this point. The instructions call to do it for around 3 minutes. What time is it? 51. I'm actually going to be really interested to see how this turns out with different flour. My guess is that the answer is going to be healthier. One more minute of kneading. Okay, so show it should have something that looks like this at this point. The next step is to cover it with a towel, and I forgot to grab one of those. And then we let it rise for an hour. So I will be back in about an hour or so to do the cooking part of this. I'll see you then.